Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hangar, the home of the Raymond Terrace Jets. We're here live now for round one in the morning session for the 2024-25 Rookies Singles State Final Series. We're kicking off with our Section 2 match, Bronwyn Brown of Harrington up against Jay Flood of Huskisson. Bronwyn sends out a cheerio to all those watching on at Harrington. Hope she'll do you proud. And she's had a pretty good start to that with the first bowl as well. Rookies were very keen, a lot of them arriving early, a few nerves on display. Very understandable, because we're in day 3 of our state final series now, having completed the pairs yesterday, and what a fantastic win for Padstow. Ryan and Jack Barclay having an exciting but very narrow win over Soldiers Point in the final. Because a big vote of thanks to Raymond Terrace, the 14th time we've held the state finals here at the hangar. All the finals since 2009, with just a couple of interruptions where we're unable to play due to COVID restrictions. So a quick rundown of our conditions of play for this event. Singles, usual format of 4 bowls per player, played singly and alternately. We have a first to 17 shots wins our rookies singles. Shots in excess of 17 don't count, so player hits 2 shots after they've on 16. They are recorded as only winning by 17 to whatever they've conceded. There are also, if the jack is set in motion by play, goes out of bounds over the face of the bank or rebounds to a distance of less than 18 metres. The end is not dead, but the jack is respotted at the tee. Jay, 1 down. Big vote of thanks too to the members of Raymond Terrace who have put their hand up and volunteered to mark for us. A couple of Raymond Terrace members are going to mark 6 games today. Very keen to do so. And they've put their hand up and volunteered because they just love the rookies. Very popular here at the terrace. Bronwyn, holding shot, just looking to add another. We will have some scores rolling through on our scoreboard at the bottom of the screen in a little while. Oh, it's very close to drawing a second, but I think it's just managed to run on. Last bowl of our first end. Is a green where you must take grass. Very good effort. I think that one's just fallen out. So marker Brendan Saws confirms that it's 1 shot to Bronwyn. Now we've got the challenge at this end. The sun is really streaming through. second end. In singles, you really want to nail that first bowl just to get your campaign on track, straight up. And that's a pretty good bowl from Bronwyn again. Just a little bit on the shy side. I've heard the boys from Raymond Terrace tell us that this green is ever so slightly slower going away from the clubhouse. That's a good reply from Jay. Does give Bronwyn a good guide though. She can play backhand up to that bowl. And both players playing the backhand side going away from the clubhouse. Perhaps they've watched the commentary on the pairs and heard Lennon saying that he feels that that's just a slightly kinder hand. And Bronwyn, that's a very good correction on the first one, has just put that little bit extra weight on. Don't know whether she's quite got far enough up to be shot. Jay's not going to ask our marker, Brendan. They feel that that information wouldn't change his shot anyway. He just wants to beat his own bowl. Speaking of our local expert knowledge base, Lennon's just managed to join us.
Good morning, Andrew. Don't know about the expert part, but anyway.
Busy morning here at the club, though.
Yeah, very busy. Got full auditorium of darts people too, so been working out a few logistics in regards to where those players can go and indulge in their cigarettes and all those types of things. But yeah, the club's pretty full today. It's good.
Nice atmosphere amongst the rookie players as well.
Yeah, lots of rookies around. Pretty keen. I rocked up here at 5 to 8 this morning and the car park was already full, so yeah, they're all pretty keen. One guy out there actually listening to a bit of heavy metal out in the car park while he was sucking on a nervous cigarette before he came in. Like he's trying to get himself in the right frame of mind.
Oh, Jay Flood, here's a fantastic bowl from him.
Good
Husky
shot.
fans, they'll be jumping up and down in their spot. Well, no, one Husky fan who likes the heavy metal as well. He might be jumping up and down.
So who we got here, Andrew? I'm sorry I've jumped in late again. Like you said, I've been running around a little bit.
Well, we've got Harrington currently on the mat. Bronwyn Brown. She's taking on Jay Flood from Huskisson. She can get a big piece of her own. Oh, it's just not quite enough. That's a pretty good head from a couple of rookies on their second end.
Bronwyn's bowls are the speckled ones?
Yes.
Yep. The other ones are speckled too, of course, but it's just hard to pick up on the camera.
Jay has the ones that look like they're black bowls.
Yeah, that's a good head of bowls, isn't it?
And he's changed hands and drawn an absolute clanger there. Don't know if he's got in for two. No, one shot. Now, is Brendan committed or crazy?
There's a few crazy people out there today, mate. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crazy ones. And by crazy, I mean they've volunteered their time for the entire day. So they'll be here from the first game this morning to the last game this evening. So, yeah, I don't know whether they're crazy or they're just doing the job that you actually want them to do, Andrew. It's pretty good dedication. Good,
they're passionate.
Yeah.
But it just shows how much the members here at Raymond Terrace actually like the rookies event.
Yeah, like Andrew said the other day, well, not Andrew, like Matthew said the other day, he had the sheet up for about half an hour before it was filled up. with volunteers. Didn't have too many troubles filling the sheet ups, which is good. And like Andrew just said, they're only too willing to volunteer their time, and have been demonstrated over the years. I think Brendan's one of those guys that's pretty well participated in just about every one.
Well, he's one of those blokes that I've known pretty well. I think this is about my 19th or 20th trip to Raymond Terrace. 14 of those for the rookies finals, a test series or maybe two, two or three club challenge finals.
Yeah, we had the Queensland New South Wales Test Series a few years ago. I remember that one. We had the Melbourne Storm training on the green the day before that. They came up to play at Newcastle. It was raining, so they came to the club and trained running drills on the green. It was pretty cool. Me and Matty just sitting in the bowls office and watching.
You see the size of some of those fellas and think they don't look that big on telly.
Yeah, you're correct. A guy like Jonathan Thurston, for instance, I always talk about this one. I met him once at Townsville Airport. Oh my God, he looks like a rake on TV. He's got arms. He's huge. His arms are huge. When I was standing next to him.
Well, I do remember Dale Shearer never looked really big in the footy teams he was in. But I stood next to him and he was towering over me. He was absolutely huge. I do remember someone saying they met Mal Meninga and they said no wonder no one could tackle him. They wouldn't be able to get their arms around his legs.
Yeah, tree trunks.
Oh, Jay's got the better of the opening part of this end. Bronwyn just a bit short with one. But she has got the opportunity here. She's got the only one past the jack. And she's only one down. It's another absolute cracker of a day here. The sun is so bright. We for the first 5 or 6 years we played the rookies finals here, we got a great big rainstorm every time. And it was fantastic because everybody looked around and said, great thing we're here because we'd be off the green otherwise.
Correct. Yeah, the roof showed its worth in the first few years of the rookies competition, that's for sure.
Well, this is the inverted commas downhill direction. And we're lots of short bowls. I wonder if they've just been watching the stream and are slightly overcompensating because of that, or it's just because they've stretched the length out a little.
Yeah. Could be a mixture of the both. I did hear somebody talking outside this morning about the uphill downhill thing, so the words got around.
A little touch. I think it's still good enough to be two.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it didn't seem to get away too far. Bronwyn coming up for a visit. Of course, the singles players are allowed to come up after the third bowl. So Bronwyn taking advantage of that, come to inspect the head.
So they can either follow their third bowl down or make their way down to the head before they play their fourth. Did have someone once say that the conditions of play say you can walk to the head. He ran. He's breaking the conditions of play. Oh, when you're serious. Who cares?
Talk about word games. I noticed that Bronwyn just asked somebody on the sideline. It looked like she was asking the marker, but it wasn't the marker, obviously.
No, she's nominated a coach.
Has she got a coach, has she? Yeah, okay.
Always a good thing to have a coach, even if they're just someone to keep your nerves settled.
I know Jay nominated a coach. The reason why I made the point is because Jay did nominate a coach. Because I was out there when he asked. So I asked about coaches a couple of days ago. I don't think we had one for the pairs. First game on the live stream, I got two.
I think we did actually have one or two that had been nominated to Lee. I didn't see it come in, and because once we get to this event, I'm sort of tied up driving this computer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 2 to Jade.
Yep.
Bronwyn just making sure before she declared. That's good practice. Don't just rush into it. Always take your time. Be sure, because if you give it away and then think, oh, maybe, that little nagging doubt can just hamper your performance in the next couple of ends. Because this is a game that's played between the ears as much as it is played on the green.
Yeah, we've laboured exhaustively over that in the last couple of days, talking about, mindsets and things like that. So, going up the hill, first bowl short. Geez, we've seen that a lot.
We used to have a discussion in the office between some of us that said if you were an analytical genius, it was harder to be a good bowler.
Probably.
Because you thought too much about the game.
You're probably right.
Lee's just getting some breath freshener. No, it's just grabbing a couple of spare spray chalks. We have spray chalks for the markers because that's the better practice. And we also give our markers a pen. Lovely little Bowls New South Wales pen, just as a thank you. We actually have a couple of gifts here too for those ones doing multiple games. Got Billy to bring up some Bowls New South Wales merchandise for those who we said were committed or crazy, one of the two. Just thought it would be a nice gesture for those who have given up their entire day, just to give them a little something as a thank you.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. I know they will appreciate it. They're appreciating the toucher spray, I know that. I've already had a couple of people comment on that. Oh, do we get to keep this? Yeah, just keep it, mate. It's okay.
Yeah, well, look, we buy them in bulk, and Anthony from Drake's Pride, I'll give him a plug for this one. He does look after us there. Because we buy them in bulk, he gives us a good price. And the whole idea is it's a thank you for giving up your time, and also because we want you to use it.
Yeah, of course.
And we did take the approach when the warnings were about COVID and sharing things. We said, well, look, you keep it, don't give it back. And we do have 2 colours available if they end up with someone using white bowls. We've got the purple one.
Bronwyn. Good shot, Bronwyn. Change of hands and nailed it. Great shot.
And I'll give Brendan kudos there. 1 squirt each side of the running surface as per standard operating procedure. Did have someone ask me once why 1 on each side of the running surface. Well, just in case someone has a drive and that bowl goes into the ditch. If you've got 1 on each opposite side, you're more likely to be able to see that. It's not going to be sitting on the sand on the mark on both sides. I'm sure you're a person too who'll just draw a little circle around the jack or the bowl in the ditch.
Yeah.
Just put your finger in the sand and draw a little circle if it's likely that something else is going to come in.
Yeah, especially the jack.
Did that once. Someone said, why'd you do that? It's all if a non-toucher enters the ditch and moves the jack, we know exactly where to put it back to.
Yeah, it's interesting that Bronwyn came up to the head with after a third bowl again. Big breath to compose herself, but she just played a good shot. I don't think she needed to even disrupt her preparation or anything. Just get on the mat, back yourself to do the same thing again. Or maybe the walk was a little bit of a calming sort of a walk down the green. She looked to let a deep breath go before she decided to go through her procedure of delivering it.
Oh, it's another good effort. I think it's just gone a little too far.
Great line.
Perfect line.
So 1 shot to Bronwyn. She's played a third bowl with a plum. Great shot.
2-3.
So we went down the hill with the reasonably decent length last end. Everybody, what did we say, dropped short, didn't they? Because we were conscious of the fact that they may have been conscious of the fact that it is short, or that it is downhill. That end, going up the hill, Jay did not have one bowl past the jack.
Interesting. And as a player noticing that, would you next end going up the hill, if you've got the opportunity, just roll that jack just a little bit further?
Yep. And it probably comes into play what Lee and Maddie were speaking about last couple of days, playing long up the hill and short down the hill. It could create even a bigger contrast between the two lengths.
So you've got to balance between playing your strengths and playing your opponent's weaknesses.
Yep. Sometimes the opponent's weakness is, well, they're having that bad a day on their weakness that, you don't even really need to play that well. You just got to, like you said the other day, you just got to beat your opponent. You're not in competition with the jack. The jack doesn't go on the scorecard.
I do remember winning a club pairs championship by a very handsome margin. And someone said to us, "Oh, you guys must have played really well against them." I said, "Well, no, we played bad." I said, "Well, how did you win by so many?" I said, "They played badder."
Correct. Yeah.
Now, they would have a bowl 6 feet out and we'd have one 5 feet out. Well, that's good.
Good opener.
Starter from Jay.
Yeah, good opener from Jay.
Bronwyn's first one quite a bit through. I wonder if that's just underestimating the downhill or a little bit of adrenaline, a bit of excitement. I know she was pretty keyed up. She was sitting up here waiting for the cards to be called and was fairly excited.
She just ran through with that one, Andrew. It's a good shot, good correction, but just running out of counting. It's a decent second, though, as you can see.
I do get the impression that... oh, pardon me.
Excuse you.
That Bronwyn's been a good at other sports.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks like she's got a bit of a competitive streak in her, doesn't she? That's a good shot from Jay again. Well played, Jay. Jay Flood from Husky. 2 good bowls. And a bit of chalk on that second one too. So, certainly 2 different opening bowls than what he delivered on the last end. I was critical of his bowls on the last end, but this end he's redeemed himself a little bit. See if he can hold on to them. It was a bit odd too, the last end. The first end they didn't sort of muck around. The second end they didn't muck around. They picked it up pretty quickly. The last end was a little odd. It's sprayed them around a bit.
That's a very good effort as well.
Yeah, Bronwyn, she's...
I do know my former colleague was tipping Jay to go all the way in this event. He thought he was pretty hot. So I hope our new Shoalhaven City Councillor is watching on. If he is, hello, Mr. 2. Tell you what, I think this one's going to sneak in as well.
That's a great shot. 3 very good weighted bowls. Pretty well nailed the line with all 3 of them as well.
And as an added bonus, he's just put a little seeded out there for Bronwyn as well.
Yeah. So, Bronwyn just coming up to the head again. So I hope she doesn't make a habit of this, Andrew. Could be a long day.
Look, we see the international stars do it, so, and we hear always from those who know to say it's a good practice to just get things right in your head. So can't blame the rookies.
Of course,
we just don't want to run late.
I'm not talking from her perspective. I'm only speaking from mine.
Well, maybe worth having a little run at this.
Yeah, well, if she's 3 down, it doesn't really make any difference if she takes her own out. So probably why she came and visited the head. I'm not sure if the marker indicated with any sort of certainty whether she was 3, so she's probably just coming to make sure.
I think you said it 2.
Yeah, okay.
The one at the front might have just been cut out by the last bowl.
Yeah, so she's only 2. You probably don't want to run. Give him a bit more room with his last bowl if you rip your own out for a full count. She played a little bit of weight, but...
I just wonder, though, if Jay's last bowl just forced that extra bit of weight. And you see it time and time again when someone's got a bowl that looks like it's in the draw line, you put extra weight to go around it.
Yep. Or even if you just know that, if I get heavy, I can get this, so don't be short. It's got that positive be up mindset. And sometimes you overdo it.
The brain doubles what you want to do.
Yeah, that's right. I think actually I looked back at that game yesterday, the final, and when I got home, and I still believe that Peter had that little suggestion in his head with that last bowl that if I get the jack down the line, if I happen to run into it, not that he was trying to do it because he would never try to do that, but I think it was in his head. If I get down and get the jack, I'll make a big number here, win the game, and he just overcooked it.
You get on the mat and you do have in your mind what shot you're going to play, but you do have that little subconscious thought in the back of the head, and it don't block it out completely. You play a bit more towards what you're not trying to play. And then you're saying to yourself, what do I do that for?
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do is start to bash yourself up. This is interesting. Jay's won the mat. He's kept the jacket or the mat in front of the bowls. So this is going to be quite a substantial change of length.
Just don't throw it past the bright bit.
So he's doing something a little bit opposite to what I suggested. So short up the hill.
Well, he's probably also thinking, short last time coming this direction.
You're probably right too. Yeah, he played 4 short bowls on the last end going in this direction, so looks as though he's well aware of that and trying to make amends by just changing the length of the jack.
Short again?
It's not as bad as his previous end. That's a pretty good starter, really.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if you're just as well off to go, you know what? I was short going this direction before. I'm going to put the mat back on the tee and roll up towards the tee and force myself to think I've got to be up.
Yeah, I've done that many times. Even called, your lead to put the jack into a certain spot because of that very reason. Like your lead or your second or your third or all of them. Or 2 of the 3 of them might be struggling on a certain length and just not quite getting them up to the head. So, yeah, I've done that a few times. You just really stretch it out. Make sure they have to get it up.
Can spectacularly backfire, though.
Oh, yeah, that's happened too.
Well, we've got the mum of the best bowler at Raymond Terrace watching on.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Online, Wendy was online.
Wendy Twining?
Yes. I'm sure Timmy will take that as a compliment.
Wendy Twining is one of the nicest ladies you'll ever meet, mate.
Well, I don't have many bowlers' mums on Facebook as friends, but that's one of them.
Yep. No, she's a lovely lady, Wendy. Good shot, Bronwyn. Just used her own bowl as a guide. Hello, Bronwyn. Hello.
She'd have to be an absolute saint to put up with those lads that she has. Timmy and Sam and or help me out. This is the 3rd one or 4th one.
No, there's Timmy, Sam, Nick. There's one more.
Is he the one that's smart enough not to be a bowler?
Yeah, he's a plumber. Yeah. They all played bowls when they were kids, of course. But yeah, James is Timmy's twin, actually.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, James doesn't play much anymore. He might still get the bowls out for a roll up every now and then, but yeah, doesn't play competitively anymore.
I do remember.
Bronwyn's down on a similar line here. Yeah, she's got the same weight. That's
Pretty good.
She's done that well. Used the first bowl as a perfect guide. Adjusted the weight. They're all on the same trajectory. All three of those bowls. So yeah, she's done that well.
We will have some score updates for the other games soon. They will be put into the system. Just checked on that though. Network error.
So Jay shortening the length up the hill and still bowling his bowls short. I mean, not as bad as they were last time. Those two there are only about a foot short. But interestingly to note that Bronwyn is still holding shot, and this one's short as well. So 8 short bowls going up the hill out of the last 8.
And tight with 3 of them at there. If you played the backhand every time, I didn't actually notice.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either,
But certainly the last 2 on the backhand have been tight and pretty much the same spot. And if you're putting 3 in the same spot like that, you think you've got to have a look at it and go, you know what, I'm not aiming at the right spot. That's just a simple bit of logic, but when you're out on the green, it's not as easy to do.
No, and in saying that, he's not that far away grass-wise either. If you bring them back down to jack level, he's only 1 down.
I've been told there's actually another Twining as well.
There's another Twining, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I don't know about that one.
Apparently there's an Andrew Twining. That might be the older brother.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is an Andrew.
So just the one. Just tightens the score up a bit more. Okay, so what length will Bronwyn pick this time?
No, I think Bronwyn would be making this one pretty long.
Well, she played that medium sort of length last end coming this direction, and Jay absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Jay seemed to Jay deliberately played that last length short because he was struggling to get the bowls up. Well, that's what we assumed. I thought she might have gone with a longer length just to keep him, having to deliver the bowl. Anyway, she's gone to what she was confident with. First bowl, a little shy, probably 5 feet. 5 feet shy of the jack. Yeah, I thought he might have switched over there. He's picked it well. No, he's done good. Well played, Jay. Good shot.
So I think they've obviously watched the streams for the last 2 days because they're playing the non-ditch side.
Yes. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, it still takes a good line. It still takes a very good line.
Just doesn't quite turn as sharply at the end.
That's correct. All right, I've got to disappear for a sec, mate. I've got somebody in the shop, so give me
No
one sec.
problems. But someone's got to do some work. That's okay. Jay wants to repeat the dose from his first bowl. So if you are looking for the results from yesterday's finals of the pairs or from the sectional play of the pairs, and a bit later today all these games, you can jump on the BowlsLink results portal, which is results.bowlslink.com.au, Tap on Bowls New South Wales, select the rookies, the comp you're after, then just scroll through matches, ladders, whatever the information you're after. For the finals, if you tap Final Series, you can also find all that information through the Bowls Now app. If you haven't got that installed, you can get it from both the Apple App Store for iDevices or through the Google Play Android devices. It is free, published by Bowls Australia. Once you've installed, you can tap on the results at the bottom, and that will bring up pretty much the same as the results portal. Then just have a look on the main menu. You can tap favourites. You tap the star, that will list your comps as your favourites. I'll go and have a look. Jay holding one. Brendan just picking a little bit of goop off the green. Nothing past the jack of any significance. Jay's bowl just on the line there, it would be one bowl past. Bronwyn's going to stick with a forehand side. A little bit of intent in this. I think it might be a bit quick for that line. Yeah, it's just going to go around the back. Don't mind the intent, just played a little bit wide. May have been looking to try and hit her own bowl on the back and push through Jay's bowl. Jay, good safe line, going to go around the back. Be one more to Jay Flood of Huskisson. He'll go out to a 6-3 lead. And he's brought the mat up near the end of the centre line, marked centre line anyway. So the app for Bowls results is Bowls Now. Just wonder whether we'll see a call for a measure here. So BowlsNSW, Bowls Now, available on both Android and iDevice platforms. And we will call for our umpire, John Lindsay, making his way out. Set the measure. And ask why the markers come down to stand on the mat. Where on a synthetic green, it's a bit difficult and a bit damaging to spike the measure in as you would normally do. John just looking for the 21 metre mark on the tape. And I would say by that it's a bit short. Just half a metre or maybe required. So Bronwyn, she should pick this mat up and move it right back near the tee. And she's done just that. That's a good move. Needs to roll this jack. I'd say she would have loved to have gone a little bit further than that. So Jay, first use after winning the mat last, or winning the end last end. And that's 9 in a row that's just a bit short coming in this direction. So he's not quite picking that speed. Bronwyn, good line. It should come back very nicely down the jack. Yes, that was a magpie. Just flew across in front of our camera. Great bowl from Bronwyn. Jay, he's corrected his line, but hasn't got that speed again. Oh, you just saw the reaction from Bronwyn there. She thought she was a bit on the narrow side. She may just get away with this. Well, she's in to count. It's actually a fairly good bowl. But she knew she just didn't have quite the speed. The line was actually pretty good. So the reaction was more like she knew that she'd just dropped the pace off. And Jay, well, he's learnt this time. He's going to sit that bowl, come in beautifully. Only got the draw on here, but you can get any contact on that last bowl to get a good result. Just going to run past. I don't mind the intent at all. Gave it a chance. That's the big thing. It's just give bowls a chance. Jay, not on in there would be handy for him. Good effort. And he's twigged to the speed. Last two have been there or thereabouts with the correct speed. In fact, his second last one was an absolute gem. Will be 1 to Jay. He'll go out to a 7-3 lead. We'll just watch that shot bowl from Jay again. Jay's taken his mat back to near the tee.
First game, second game. Lee, who's been sitting over there, big fella from BowlsNSW. He's been the man running the show.
Okay, so
He's not sitting there now at the moment. I don't know where he is. But he'll be over there. He'll give you your touch of spray. He'll give you your car. He'll call. He'll do all of it.
yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
But it'll all happen at the same time. So don't stress.
I'm a bit sorry I haven't got the proper shirt.
Oh, don't worry about it, mate. It's all right.
I've got the shirt.
All good. Am I on? Yeah.
You're on.
All
Yep.
right. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Work calls.
Yeah.
So
Sold a pair of shoes.
Jay put his first couple short again, going that direction, and then Bronwyn had one just in behind, and he's played an absolute bomb to sit it. And his last one was a good effort as well, just fell out from being shot. So he's won the end going that direction, but had two good weighted bowls.
So he's jumped out to a 7-3 lead, eh?
Yeah, don't feel like he's been dominant, but he's just managed to get the score.
Good shot again, Bronwyn. Bronwyn hasn't played bad from what I saw. I just missed the last part of the last end, I think, or maybe I missed another one as well. But, yeah, Bronwyn's played all right.
Yes, certainly she could go back and watch this game so far with a sense of achievement. Jay has just managed to get the shot a couple of times.
It's what happens a lot, isn't it? You know, excuse me. We've spoken about it a lot too. You don't necessarily have to play four good ones. You've only got to play one big one.
Well, if you can play a couple of good bowls when you're in trouble, just hang in.
And as you said, Jay, I think Bronwyn's probably been, from what I've seen, the more consistent of the two. But Jay's the one that's scoring. We said yesterday about sometimes when you're not playing the best, and you win the games, they're the best ones to win. Winning ugly, so to speak.
Well, how many times in singles have you seen someone 4 down and draw with their last bowl?
Happens a lot.
And they do it consistently and just hang in there, and then all of a sudden they come good and run away with the game.
Yep.
One of the strongest wins I had, I beat one of the guys who he was winner of our zone senior singles at the time. I beat him 31-13, and I reckon he held 4 on me about 7 times in the first 10 or 12 ends, and I drew a shot with my last bowl.
Yeah, the heartbreakers, those ones. So, yeah, it's another case in point here. Jay sort of struggling to find the range, and Bronwyn got 2 on it. Just before I ducked away to go to the shop, Bronwyn was in a similar situation and managed to lose the end, I think. So, this is a big one from Jay. He's managed to do it over and over for the first few ends with his 4th bowl, or at least his 3rd bowl.
Well, you'd have to say, with Bronwyn playing those 3, if he doesn't get in that head now,
he's going to drop a full count.
It'll be all square, and an end-winning domination will be converted into an even score.
Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't be coming down to have a look at this if I was Bronwyn. I'd be just going, bang, I know what I need to do.
Yeah, and that's why I said that to her. I said that to you earlier when she came and looked at the head. She didn't really need to. It was an open head. She'd already played a good shot. In fact, I think she'd drawn the shot before. Come and had a look and then didn't do anything with the last one.
I jokingly say I don't want to do any of that undignified running or walking up and down the green any more than I have to.
Oh, mate, anybody that's watched me play bowls, I can't talk. Anybody that's watched me play bowls knows that I'm a jack in a box. Up and down the green like a cat on a hot tin roof.
I did follow one down in my last game of pennants at Skip. Got down the other end, and I said to the mates playing with me, I said, oh, who's a silly bugger who ran down the green and followed that? I run down the green and someone yells out, repair your own divots.
Yeah.
Well, it just needs to repeat the first 3 bowls.
Yeah, rinse and repeat type of a job. She's held up nicely there. Is she going to sneak around it?
Yep, that's good enough.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to touch.
Played.
Well,
full count to square it up at 7.
And singles, like no other game, or like every other game, big numbers hurt.
Yep.
And interesting, she's brought the mat up this time. She did take it right back to the tee on the last end going this direction and rolled it just sort of to the end of the marked centre line. And I thought she should have tried to go further, but Jay was short with his first two. So she's just changed the perspective a little bit. Don't mind that. Didn't work last time. I'll try something different. Prove she's not just plonking it down and rolling it to any old spot.
She's very particular in her approach too, Bronwyn. Just approaches the mat from the opposite side of the green that she's going to be playing. Walks onto the mat through a line. Does all that very well.
The best person to watch if you want to explain a pre-shot routine and a delivery routine, I've said, is Joe Edwards.
Yeah, Joe Edwards is pretty particular, and more
Very
or less
methodical.
more or less the same every time. Someone else that is pretty big on the pre-shot routine, and is Barry Lester's pretty big on the pre-shot routine too. Approaches the mat from the opposite side, does all those things. He's very, very big on it.
I got to watch Jo a few times because I officiated a World Cup a few times, and she would right down to kicking the ball to the back of the mat, then rolling it back, picking it up, getting it in her hand, getting into the spot behind the line.
Even down to those little intricacies.
And you just noticed that it was, I'm going to follow what I do and I'm going to do it calmly.
Yep.
And she's a lovely lady.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. Had the pleasure of sharing a beverage with her in the past. She's a very nice lady.
Very down to earth. She's got the New Zealand equivalent of an AM, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you analysed even Disco's routine, you'd see that it's pretty much exactly the same every time as well.
It's just very quick.
You blink and you miss it.
Yeah. I wonder what sort of bowls she's got. It looks like, are they factors? They look like, yeah, they are. They're edge factors.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, they definitely are.
Yeah, you can tell by the branding on the outside.
Yeah, so I was going to make a comment about how she's not taking. I said, is she going to hold around that bowl in the last end? And she's not taking too much grass on that ditch side of the green. Not as much as what we've seen in the last couple of days, and not as much as what Jay's having to play either.
Yeah, I've actually not seen that many people use those bowls.
No, they were big when they first come out. There were quite a few people using them, and then you don't see too many of them anymore. They're a bit square. Yeah, like that. Just steps off the mat, nice deep breath, calm yourself. Step onto the mat, step onto the mat, looking through your line. Everything's lined up.
Well, see, Allmark was a brand that was commissioned by a retailer.
Yeah, correct. We've already mentioned his name.
Through, and they were manufactured by another manufacturer in Australia.
Yep. And it was an Aero.
And then they withdrew that supply. I suppose it wasn't, took it over themselves, and then just withdrew it from the range.
Yep.
Concentrated on their own brand.
Yep.
So they're only around for a few years.
Not quite making it. Do you think he's going to? You think that bowl there's sticking its belly out enough for shot?
It looks like it from here. I think I'd be putting a tape on it if I was out there playing.
Yeah, I think the blue one, the SR, the Taylor bowl looks like it's shot to me. It is a Taylor bowl, isn't it?
Oh, it looks a bit like it, but
anyway, Jay's bowls. Jay's bowl looks like it's the shot. Don't touch. Okay. Just don't want to do what we saw the other day. And here comes KFC. The number one adjudicator in town.
And he's got the laser out.
He got the laser out again, yeah. He likes the laser. In fact, he's been using it that much that I had to replace the batteries yesterday.
I would actually like to see him
And then
put a wedge under those bowls.
Brendan's giving him a bit of lip too. He's just told him to get off the green. A bit of friendly banter between the marker and the umpire. Yeah, but you're right, especially that bowl that looks like it could fall over. That one that he's...
I mean, they are fairly secure, but I'm not picking on him. He's doing a good job. I'm just... I'm paranoid.
Yeah, these lasers are very good, but you've got to be very careful when you're butting them up against the jack. It's always...
Well, it's like any piece of equipment. It's only as good as the operator.
Yeah, that's right. It's very difficult, or it's very easy, I should say, to just be a little bit too heavy-handed and nudge the jack.
Of course, it would be difficult to use an orbital measure on the screen.
Yeah, no, you can't use an orbital. The greens are too hard.
It was Jay.
So, yeah, the orbitals don't work on. The greens are just too hard. You can't get the spikes into the surface.
Well, you wouldn't want to.
And you wouldn't want to either. And the other thing is we've tried, there's been a bunch of different variations or iterations or modifications to the orbitals to try to get them to work for synthetics, like down to little, little saw-like teeth on the bottom and bits of Velcro and all manner of things. But, yeah, none of them seem to work properly.
I've seen one with, like, acoustic foam on the bottom.
Yeah.
That dimpled stuff that was mildly successful, but because it's got a bit of give in it, it can be a little bit difficult too. So don't mind him using the laser. That's what they're meant for. Caliper's also good in that situation.
I think you'll find John will use the laser as often as he can. Might want to adjust his camera here, Andrew. Can't see the jack.
Oh, that's a good idea. So it's a bit longer than it was last time coming this direction.
Yeah, it's what you get for anticipating the length, mate.
Or forgetting.
I was trying to give you a bit of a rap. Like you would never forget, Andrew. That's a good opener from Jay. Long length. He managed to win the last stand and he's changed the length considerably. Like this is the biggest difference in length we've had from one end to the next. Jay's done very well too by whacking his first bowl in the area. Over this length, that's a very handy start. He's looking to use Bronwyn's first bowl as a little bit of a guide. He's underneath it okay. I just don't think he's going to run the journey. Still pretty good. It's only probably 2 feet.
Good enough to count at this stage.
And he's close to the centre line too, so he's finding the right line and finding the centre of the rink, which is going to fill him full of confidence. Bronwyn with her tighter bowls. I think she's just going to slam into her own. Well, this could be an opportunity that Jay was asking for here. Change your hand. Don't want to rack on those short bowls. Whack another one in the head. Put the pressure on. You might be able to blow the scoreboard open.
And, yeah, while I'm a fan of trying to stay on one hand and don't change anything. That one's an unnecessary risk. You've got clear air out the other side. You may as well take that clear air, and you've got 2 or 3 metres to make one count.
See, he hasn't played a good bowl. It's not a very good bowl at all, but it's probably still counting. We can't even see it on the screen, but believe me, viewers, that is close to counting.
We can now. Oh, too far.
So Bronwyn with a third bowl. She knows this one needs to be in the area. This one really needs to be in the area. She's picked the port here, Andrew. I think she might have drawn it,
Oh, it may have just slipped through to be second.
Yeah, it's second shot, but that's a good bowl, especially given the circumstances.
It's not a big number anymore.
Correct. Yeah, it's One of those things that you've been labouring on is sometimes the ones that you save are as important as the ones you get.
And again, in singles, I'm always happy to score a 1.
Yep. Keep the mat, keep your length, keep your route, keep your rhythm along.
My mate Junior told me about the time he went to watch the City Masters final. The legendary Bombardary Bob King was playing in it. He said he watched him reel off 20 consecutive scores of 1 to win. And he said it was intriguing. It was a great game, but Bob just kept getting that shot.
That's all you need. 25 ones. Or 17 in this instance.
Let's hope we don't have 17, 16 and it's all ones. 33 ends.
Especially if Bronwyn's going to come up to the head with every third bowl. There it is, the deep breath again. Pre-shot routine.
What's the longest game of singles you've played?
I couldn't say. I can't remember. It would have been 31-29 or something like that, I'd say. Whether it was a big scoring affair or a close one, I couldn't tell you.
I did have one game where I got off the green and we were sitting having a drink afterwards and a bit down because I'd been beaten to about 26 or 27. I'd gone close, but I did say to the marker that I was rather tired. I can remember old Dave said, "No wonder you expletive, you played 54 ends."
That is a lot of ends. That's what? That's 2.5 2 and a bit scorecards.
Yep. They had the ones that had about 40 ends on them, so we were on to the second one of those.
Yeah.
You play a 3.5 hour singles game, you're a bit drained afterwards.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are or how fit you are. Singles, one after the other, after the other, after the other. It takes it out of you. Certainly takes it out of you. I remember one year, it was only 1 year because I didn't go good enough to do it again for the next year. It was played up at the Broadbeach five-a-side or the Helensvale five-a-side at that time. I got chucked into the singles. Yeah, I felt it.
So when you're playing any game, important to manage your levels. You also have a drink, and not just the lovely
opener.
amber-coloured ones.
Great opener. Just missing the jack as she fell over, but it's a great opener for Bronwyn. She's like... Bronwyn's probably been the more consistent of the two, I believe. Andrew?
Yeah, I think she's played more effective bowls.
Yeah.
I think Jay's just played a couple more that have been outstanding, and really, apart from one end for Jay where he played for not so good and dropped a 4, you take that 4 off and he's leading 9-3. It's a fairly dominant sort of performance.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it doesn't look dominant. The scoreboard makes it look more dominant than what it actually is, I think. Now, Bronwyn hasn't played bad.
Well, she's played well enough to win a lot of other games.
Don't touch your own. Just arriving a little bit. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
That one gets exported out for the potential hotshot reel.
Yep. No, I think deservedly so too. This one needs to be passed. Obviously, he was trying to crack an egg, but if he fails, he needs to be passed, which he has. He's made sure of that. And I believe this one needs to be passed too. I'd be getting the deepest bowl on the ring.
I would not be adding to the width of that target.
No, I'd just be throwing it around the back, making sure that Jay has to play neater weight. At the moment, he can get up there and hit anything and score.
Well, respot in place.
Yeah. So I'm not
Oh,
sure
no,
if this is the right.
do
This
this.
is not the right job.
Well,
That's a good bowl. People at home would be sitting here saying, "What's wrong with that?" I mean, that's a very good bowl, but it's probably not what she needed. The shot for Jay hasn't changed. He's got to get up there and hit the head, and hopefully the jack goes backwards.
well, it's a smallish target there at the moment, and Jay's got both behind. She's going to crack into the middle, which has got a good result. That's just broadened that target up a little bit. The jack probably will go out of bounds now, but it also means I think that her bowls will catch on each other and not go back as much.
Yeah, you're right.
But he's basically locked in that he's got to have a hit now.
Yeah, he's got some weight behind it. Oh, not enough. It's just going to... No, he's gone. Well, hopefully he learns something from that, because if he needs to play more weighted shots on these surfaces throughout the tournament, he's going to have to go more direct than that.
Probably better off going quite a bit quicker then. Now, Bronwyn, well, play the same draw.
Yep.
Just don't be overweight. Don't want to crack an egg on your own and split it back.
She's probably made it a little safer with the last bowl, because I think the jack's sort of further away from the bowl than what it was. There's probably about an inch gap between the bowl and the jack.
Just take a fraction more grass.
Yeah, that's probably the safest option, yep. Just take a fraction more grass. If it comes back, it'll come back. You've got to trust the bowl to come back. It'll come back, pick the right weight, and you'll count.
Because you only have to finish closer than Jay's closest bowl.
So, in this game, very, very interesting. Like I said, Bronwyn's played well. I don't think that she's been, the worst player on the green. In fact, I think she's probably played more consistent than Jay.
Oddly enough, I think that would have been better as a third bowl.
Yes, you are right.
Nevertheless, it's going to be a count of 3 and she'll go to the lead.
Yeah, so 3. She's won 2 really big ends. She scored 7 shots in 2 ends. You take those ends back down to 1s, and Jay's in front easy.
And that's the thing. Bronwyn hasn't had any really bad ends with 4 bowls.
No.
She's had 1 or 2 there or thereabouts on every end, whereas Jay's had, I wouldn't count that as a bad end, but it was a loose end.
Mm.
And the one he dropped the other 4, I would count as a fairly bad end. He gave too much room.
Oh no, she swapped hands then. She approached from the same side she's playing. I was about to give her a compliment, that's all. Yeah, so I think you're right about this side of the green too, Andrew. They haven't looked at playing the other side with their opening bowls. If there's a choice, they're sticking to this side.
That's a good thing. If you're finding your line, be consistent.
Been a hard sort of a game to get into a rhythm on too. The mat location's changed, the jack placement's changed, the length of the ends has been inconsistent. I don't. It's not the sort of game where you could just get into a nice little rhythm and.
Well, no one's won a big run of ends either.
No.
Might have won 2 in a row, but not 3.
Yeah, that's probably part of the reason why it's been all over the place as far as the varying of the lengths and the mat placements and jack positions.
And both players have reacted to what the other's done. Or
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a reactionary sort of a game, doesn't it? Well, he rolled long, I'll go short. Oh, she put the mat here, I'll put the mat there. Good shot again, Bronwyn.
well bowled. Well, I was expecting Brendan to cop a bit of sledging on the comments on Facebook. Hasn't happened yet. You've copped more sledging on there.
Me?
Yeah, your old mate Jared's had a go at you a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's only saying what I've already said. So no second prizes, Jared.
Fantastic answer from Jay. Side toucher.
Yeah, so this game's obviously, it's nowhere near over. It's not over until somebody gets to 17, of course, but Jay's just got to keep fighting and keep plugging away, keep trying to find the range and... Oh, look out.
Good intent, good contact.
What a
Just
great
didn't get
effort.
the result.
Yeah, so he just needs to keep going. Don't get too flustered. Keep maintaining the rage and plonking them in there as often as you can.
Well, I'm sure you know singles games are never over until that last shot is scored.
100% I do. I can remember when you said about a game that you thought that you shouldn't have won or you come from behind. That happened the year I won the state singles final. The first game, that happened.
I do remember that state singles final. Played at Ettalong. He played Aaron Sheriff.
Yeah.
I won't say smoked him, but did give him... did have a good, strong victory, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, he put a little bit of... he got me a little scared there with his run at the end, but I managed to hold on, I suppose.
And I reckon there was about 500 people around the green.
There's a lot of people there.
And
It
about
was good.
494 of them were supporting Aaron, being the local.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Or am I overestimating the 6?
No, you're not overestimating 6. You're underestimating it, actually. I had quite a few more people there.
Yeah, there was a few terrace blokes that made the trip down.
No, I got a lot of family lives on the Central Coast too. So no, I know my grandmother was there. She was living on Ocean Beach Road at the time, so she made her way down the club and watched.
I do regret that was before we live streamed everything, because it was a fantastic game. Both players played exceptionally well, and you're not exactly a slouch in the speed stakes of playing the game, but Aaron is an absolute race horse.
Yep.
So it was fast paced and good bowls.
Yeah, but the point that I was making is that one of those games where you come from behind and you win a game that you probably shouldn't win. I played Josh Andrisk in the first round of that year, and I was getting beat. I think it was 20-29, and I was still in the teens, I think. And I just kept getting one in there, playing one bowl. I saved the game about 4 or 5 times, and then, as fortune would have it, I went on and won the whole thing. So, but yeah, you go back through tournaments and you look at moments like that, and that was certainly, in fact, that was, if I don't win that game, I can't win it.
Knockout at that stage.
Yeah, knockout at that stage. So that was one of those games that I think I got out of jail, but proof positive in the fact that you're never out of a game of singles.
All square again.
So Jay's picking up a 1 again. He's won the majority of the ends, Jay, of course, with Bronwyn having picked up a 3 and a 4. I think this one will be... I was going to say that. I think this one will be up there somewhere.
Well, Sun, really, camera doesn't like it. So it'll be on the tee.
I think you're better off just to leave it there, Andrew. Otherwise you won't be able to see.
Well, actually, he's rolled it into the ditch.
No, he did. Leroy Schreiner wouldn't be happy with that one, Andrew. Hey?
Well, you can call him a cranky skipper now. He's not here to defend himself.
He's not a cranky skipper. He just gets cranky sometimes.
He's just an intense competitor.
Oh, intense is an understatement. He's a consummate competitor.
Well, Jay wanted to go very long, and Bronwyn said, well, you've given me the chance.
Well, he needs to respond now. Put the first one on it, and put the pressure back on Bronwyn. You might have rolled your length, but you're going to have to win it.
I do love how we get an international audience. Mary from Fife in Scotland, she's on again.
Yeah, she was there yesterday too.
She's on all of ours.
Always letting you know that she's watching from Fife.
You get the other bowls tragics, you get Vince and Leppington. First met Vince when he played in the World Masters Games that we held in Sydney in 2009. What a great event. A few other tragics that on every game. And we mean that as a nice sense. They're keen about their bowls and they love watching. Jay's decent starter. Bronwyn just pushed hers a little bit. My scoreboard says the same as what
that's a pretty
got up on the board. That's a good thing.
That's a pretty good start. 2 good bowls. That's what you need playing singles. Your first bowl, everybody speaks about your first bowl being the most important bowl, and it probably is, but I tell you what, your second bowl's not far behind it. If your first one's not good, your second one has to be good.
You don't want to put yourself in the situation of having to play a good bowl with your last bowl.
That's right. Yeah, so your first bowl is obviously the most important bowl. If you can nail that, it sets you up for the rest of the end. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in I'll always never underestimate or undersell the importance of the second one, because if your first one is a little erratic, a little short, a little long, whatever, your second one, it needs to be there.
And look, if you have nailed it with your first one, you then want to back it up and put another one close, just behind, or another shot, just to say to your opponent, you've got to respond here. And if you don't, all you do is, I always put it turning the screws. Just turn that pressure down a little bit.
Yep. Swapped hands here, Bronwyn, and she's
done it pretty well.
Done it very well. But just see that little sideways movement, even with the edge factors, just right at the death it went sideways. Probably cost her in the end.
And it's not much more than the other side, but it's just that little more that you need to take, what do you reckon, on this length, extra foot?
Yeah, on this length, yep.
So 20, 30 centimetres extra grass.
Yeah, and as the jack goes up the green, you're taking a bit more. But yeah, on this length, it'd probably be about an extra foot of grass. And that's just to compensate for that late little bit of whip that you get as you're coming back to the centre line. It's obviously pretty close, both players having a keen look at it. No, she's leaving the end not knowing what to do. I don't like this.
If you're going to have a look, you have to leave the head going,
yeah,
I know what I'm going to play.
Yeah.
And the only time you don't is where you go, okay, when I get to the mat, if I can see it on that hand, this is what I'm going to play, and if I can't, then this is the better shot.
Yeah, sometimes you're a little indecisive, and that's what you do say to yourself, Andrew. You say, I'm going to make up my mind based on what it looks like from the mat. I've seen it from the head. I know what the head looks like. Now I'm going to get back to the mat and see what I'm going to feel most confident with playing.
You get on the mat and you go, this is the shot I'm going to play. I need this weight, this grass. And you don't have any doubts that, I'm going to play that. If it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well, it didn't work.
I think she must have favoured her bowl, Andrew. She took a very high line. Mind you, she didn't get the outside rub. She might have got back to the centre line, but I reckon she favours her bowl. She hasn't relinquished the mat either, which is sort of telling me that she favours her own.
I think we might see a measure here.
Yeah, I think no, you conceded it.
Oh, maybe it was just a hopeful look to think, if I keep looking at it, maybe I'll be closer.
Yeah, all the body language said that Bronwyn had it. But yeah, there you go. He lost the jack, tried to change the length, lost the jack into the ditch. Bronwyn got to roll her length, and she wins the end. You can't state how important those jack rolls are.
So for everyone watching on, and Mary, you love watching Australian bowls. Get comfy, get a nice cup of tea, or another beverage of your choice, because you've got plenty to watch today. This is game 1 of 6 games we'll bring you. Admittedly, there's 17 up, so they'll be a little bit shorter, but We'll probably be going for another
Probably till about 7:30, I'd say.
another 9 hours or so.
Oh, expert commentary from punter. Thanks, Corey Daly.
One state singles winner to another.
Yeah, Corey's won it as well. Not easy to win. It's feather in anyone's cap. I know it's my biggest achievement. Good opener again from Bronwyn. Interesting to note that Jay's playing the other side of the green now, so looking to change something. It's not a bad bowl, you know. That'd be enough to win most ends from the last couple of days. But Bronwyn's playing very good.
I've got to say, punter, Corey Daly is another absolute gentleman.
Another?
Yes, I'll put you in that category now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing against Corey a number of times. He's a very nice man. Good shot, Bronwyn. Very good shot. So, yeah, Jay was short with his first bowl. Bronwyn's just trailed the jack a little bit, so he's just forcing him to readjust. And he's having to change his hand as well, which is going to change the speed that he needs. And he's probably just poked this out there. It's just changing from one side to the other. It's slightly different. Oh, I was trying very hard to come back. In fact, it has. What do I know? What a good shot. A toucher. Wow. Didn't that come back hard?
Wow. And changed hands. Very good to change hands and then nail it. Good on you, Mary. She said she's in bed with a cup of tea. She'll watch for a while. Have a little snooze and then come back and watch the replays.
A couple of teas and a cup of tea and a couple of penguins on the bedside table, I reckon.
Oh, Bronwyn's got an attacking line. Has she got the attacking weight?
No, she had very good idea of the shot to play.
Turn her own onto it, yes.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a very good attempt. She didn't miss it by much either. Good weight. The bowl stayed on the green.
Jay needs to make sure he's there with this one.
Yeah, this needs to be past the jack. I know he's holding shot. Ideally, you'd like to try to make two, but at this point, you're not really worrying about it. You just need to be past the jack, and I don't think he needed to change his hand either.
He swapped hands again.
Yeah. This is just playing into danger here. This is the problem when you change your hand when you didn't need to.
Wow.
I think he's down now. He did not need to change his hand.
I think the ideal shot for me was repeat your last bowl. If you draw another shot, great.
Yeah.
But you err on the side of being a foot past.
Yeah.
You get in behind. You just make it that little bit harder, a little bit more precise that she had to be. And if she is holding shot, just stay away from it. Let him have a go.
Yeah.
Draw behind.
No, so she's still one down. She just signalled one down to her coach. I'll tell you what, Jay would be feeling very, very relieved with that.
2 bowls to play. Don't, Jay, if you're holding shot when you play your last, don't play it.
Yeah, he didn't really need to change his hand there. Bronwyn didn't really have much to play before that. I mean, she knew what she was going to be trying to do. It wasn't easy. Now, this shot's not easy either, but he's just provided himself with a little less scope to draw a second shot now.
I don't mind what she's looking at. She's looking at, do I play forehand to try and sit it, or backhand to try and... If you get a split on the backhand, you're going to get shot. You're already down, so you just play slightly overplayed draw.
Yeah.
If you can get the gap, you should split the 2 bowls apart and stay.
Yeah, my only reservation with that shot, Andrew, is I'm not sure if her bowls will arc back hard enough around that blue bowl.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd be very surprised if they would. So I think she nearly has to play the other side.
But she only needs to get a little rattle on that shot bowl, the toucher, the chalk spray you can see. They're both touches. And that jack should spit across to her own. You get it wrong, it'll rattle around and just bounce
And
back
pop,
to the other.
That's right, and pop it out.
Worst result would be to play too much weight and have it bounce onto your own bowl and bounce back up to go 2 down.
That's right, yeah.
But if she managed to get shot out of this,
She's still playing backhand.
she's
It's
an
prob-
absolute genius bowl.
she's still playing backhand. And it's probably the safer option of the two. Even if you fail, you're getting another bowl in the area, which makes it harder for Jay to make another. If you play the other hand, you pop the jack, you all of a sudden provide a little bit more space for Jay to draw a counter.
A little bit too much enthusiasm behind this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with that if I was her. She's one in front. She's one down on the head now. I mean, Jay's got to draw within 2 millimetres to get a counter.
He's not sure he's shot. He's having a look to make sure.
Geez, it looks like shot from here, from the camera. Mind you, where the angles are different, of course, and we're not looking over the top of it as the bird flies.
There might be nothing in this. If he doesn't hit this, I reckon we'll see the umpire out.
Oh, I'm certain of it.
That nearly feeler gauges. Do we zoom right in and see how much his hands shake?
I think he's got a good half inch. Still, maybe not half an inch, but it'd be a centimetre maybe. But yeah, you can do that if you want. But geez, wouldn't you feel bad if you actually moved the jack and you were zoomed right in on it?
I thought you'd say, no, John's a great umpire. There's no way he's going to move anything.
Oh, everybody makes mistakes, mate. Look, this is coming back hard too. Is he going to get to it? Is he? No, not quite.
Umpire.
Jeez, from here it looks like the brown speckly type of bowl of Bronwyn's. But obviously we're coming from a different angle. Yeah, well, from this angle it looks like definitely Bronwyn's. But for all those out there that understand perspective, Bronwyn's is actually closer to us than the blue one, which is creating that deception.
And he is putting the wedges in this time. Calipers.
Yeah, like I said, he's probably got a centimetre. It looks as though the calipers are about a centimetre.
He's working from the bottom up, which is the recommended technique.
I was about to say that too. Yeah.
And the bottom up because you're more stable.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that mentioning perspective too, when you're coming from the top down, you can't see what you're doing.
The other good thing, you notice one knee, one hand on the green. So he's got that stable balance. In fact, he's got both hands resting on the green. Good balance. I hope he doesn't watch this back because I'm praising him. It'd be terrible with that praise, wouldn't he?
Looks like the blue bowl, doesn't it? Couldn't quite get the calipers up through the jack and the blue bowl, but he's getting it past this one. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Not much in that at all. So one to Jay.
Well done, Johnny Lindsay. Very good.
Under pressure, knowing that I'd be zoomed in on him.
He did a good job then.
Now we get the artistic shot. Well, that jack is in a very similar position to what it was coming this direction last.
No. Well, the jack is, but the mat's not.
But the mat's in a vastly different position, so it is a different length.
Yeah, obviously not wanting to throw it into the ditch again on this end. So we have Jay playing a 3/4 length, or I suppose you'd call it a 3/4 length.
Yeah, medium.
Deciding to change hands too, swap sides of the green. He did that a couple of ends ago, so looking to change the game up, or change something up in the game. Opening bowl on the forehand going up the hill, and he's Played a pretty good one, I must say. Not a bad opening bowl at all.
Well, Bronwyn, if she gets the stop here, she's good. Or she doesn't need
the
the stop.
stop. No, that's a good shot. She's played well.
That is a good bowl.
We had Graham Robson. Yeah, there he is, watching and looking forward to this afternoon. Graham Robson is one of our members here. He qualified for the rookies singles, so he's in the afternoon session. I'm not sure if he gets a live stream game.
Cowboy?
Yeah, Cowboy is his nickname.
No, he doesn't.
He's been he's an avid bowler. Gets down here a lot, rolls up, practices, and since he qualified for the rookies, he's been doubling up on that.
I did notice when we did the rink draw that no terrace bowler drew rink 6 in the round robin. And I thought, oh, well, the terrace fans should come down and watch anyway and support their club.
No, there's quite a few of them here. So Bronwyn nailing the line again with the second bowl, just dropping a little short. And it looks as though Jay is going to... No, he's just missed it. Perfect weight, Jay. Just changing to the other side of the green. He played his first 2 on the ditch side.
Over our sectional play, every region gets at least one match on the live stream. And some regions get 2 because we're covering more than 16, of course. We have managed to mix that up so that we do represent all parts of the state on our broadcast in the sectional rounds.
So he's got an opportunity to make a number here. I'm not sure if he's thrown it hard enough. He had a good line for it. Not even sure if he's trying to play it, given the weight that he had.
Bronwyn walks up and has a look again.
Yeah, so Jay could have quite easily made it 2 then, just by rolling the bowl once. And if he was confident enough to get enough weight around it, move it far enough, he could have made 3.
Yeah, playing that same sort of reach on that backhand side, if you play the shot, you either sit the bowl or trail a jack, and you trail a jack 3 feet, you're going to be 3 shots.
Yeah.
It's just a slightly overplayed draw.
It's another interesting thing here, Andrew. I'll tell you what. No, she's done it well, but changed her hand then. Good shot.
She'll move to 13.
Yeah, she's playing well. Even, she played two loose bowls on that end, but they found the middle of the ring. So every single one of her bowls then had perfect grass, or near enough to perfect grass. Yeah, she's been playing well. She's been very consistent with the grass. When she finds the weight, she's invariably in the area.
Well, Denzel Owen, we're really grateful that Matt Peterson's not in this competition because even in 17 up, we'd still be here tomorrow waiting for him to play his bowl.
Denzel just cannot leave Perm alone, can he?
pretty sure Denzel and his brother Reese won the state junior fours
With Perm.
with Perm. No, with Mark Larson.
Ah.
And I think Mark's brother. Park Beach at the time. I'm dragging the depths of the memories. That's I think he's been longer out of juniors than he was in juniors.
Leaving that one a bit short too, Jay. It's about 5 feet. I back Bronwyn to correct here. She's done a very good job of correcting her bowls. Just needs to lose 2 feet. Should be very good.
So we've only got 3 games still on the green.
Just she's into it, fair into it. It's unfortunate. Still holding shot though.
And once again, our live stream goes on the last finish. It's going to give me the least amount of time to turn around again. So once we do hit 17, we'll pretty quickly terminate this stream. Fear not, we'll be back not long after.
Yeah, if you're watching, don't go anywhere. You might have time to go and have a wee.
Oh, and you've heard me talk about the albatross. He's just commented. He's off to penance.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Good luck today. I hope those shoulders are strong. You're going to need them again, even though you're not carrying this weight. Good luck to Siddos. And if you're watching from Siddos, stay around after men's penance this afternoon at the club, because we've got Elias Chidiac on about 5:45.
Yeah,
And I've threatened Sean and Bales, if they don't put it up on the big screen and broadcast through the club, that I'll be cranky.
I was talking to him yesterday, Elias.
Lovely fellow.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
And I think it's his brother, Tommy. Or
Tommy. His brother's a real estate agent. I know that.
Tommy and Elias both share the surname. I'm not sure if it's cousins or brothers, but both characters. But we're looking forward to a number of games today. And, well...
Just getting away on that side.
Yeah, Bronwyn goes for a walk again.
Yeah, it's just... Jay's been chopping and changing the last couple of ends. He's like, just played it looked like he was making a decision to swap sides of the green, and because when it's not happening, you sort of look to change something to change the momentum and stuff like that. But
sometimes I think when it's not happening, you're better off not changing a thing.
Yeah.
Just trying to play 2 ends where you play the same side of the green. You try and play the same rhythm.
I think Jay tried to change hands to sort of change the way the games and the heads were being set up, I should say. But he hasn't stuck to it. He's been chopping and changing since then. So he's played 3 bowls on 3 different hands.
Well, Tommy, I'll be Tommy's mate forever, saying I thought he was Elias's brother, because he's actually his dad.
His dad?
Yes. His dad's come up with him.
Must have a good gene pool, mate, if you're getting confused for brothers, eh?
Well, it's not that Elias looks old. It's that Tommy's a youthful character.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Good effort from Bronwyn's. Just gone a little past. Not in the count.
I want to borrow some of his stem cells, mate. Like the fountain of youth.
Oh, is it going to slow down enough?
It needs to land something. Needs to land something. Yeah.
I think it's just the one to Bronwyn.
He just seems to have lost his way the last couple of ends, Jay.
Can be a long game, even at 17 up. You just got to maintain your concentration.
Yeah, just seems to have lost his way.
You start to lose your concentration. Anything you do to try and just get that back, you just take a breather, go and get a drink of water, or...
Oh, we've got a gentleman here that chooses to go and, chooses to go to the toilet.
Little refocus. Yeah, just the one. I've taken a loo break before and I've been playing terrible. Actually needed to go to the loo, so that was a good thing.
Oh, mate. You need to go, you need to go.
No, because I was playing so bad and had so many sips of water to try and get myself going.
I'm not talking about number ones, though. I'm talking about the number 2.
Oh, well, you got 10 minutes.
So Bronwyn 14-11, like I said, right from the start, she's been probably the most consistent of the two. Jay was leading for a long time and even hanging around for a while, but having not been the more consistent of the two, it's been found out the last couple of ends. He's just lost his way a little bit, and Bronwyn's consistency's allowed her to go out to a 3-shot lead.
Well, the other thing is, Jay, has he got a 2? He might have got 1 or 2 2s at the most. Bronwyn's picked up a 4 and a 3. So 7 in 2 ends. Keeps those to 1s. She's 5 shots less. Jay's leading 11-9
yeah.
without the multiples.
Yep. That's not even turning him around. That's just reducing him from 4 to 1. If Jay turns 2 of those around,
he's leading 13-7.
Yeah.
Or more than 13. Oh, no, 13. Unless he's trailed a jack or whatever. And there's a great answer.
Shot, Jay. Great shot, Jay Flood. That's what you need to do when you've got your opponent on the springboard and you're chasing a few. You really need to get in there and get in there early. It's an attacking line, Andrew.
The other thing is, when you're on the springboard, you can't relax.
No, you can't. You find it terribly difficult to relax.
Great bowl, Bronwyn. Doesn't get a result, but good effort.
Good shot. It makes it tough for Jay to get another one in there. It's going to get down on the mat, try to beat that back bowl, and anything shorter than that, you're getting very close. Beat that back bowl gives you plenty of chances to make that bowl a counter too later on.
Did have a game where a 31-up game where I trailed by 30-20. 3 ends later, I'd won. 2 4s and a 3.
I think I had a game once. Oh no, I didn't. He scored on the second last end. 31-1. I was winning 30-0, and he got a 1.
Never done that much of a demolition. Been on the end of a couple of demolitions. Had the pleasure of playing in consecutive games in the mid-80s. Cameron Curtis and Kelvin Kirko.
Oh, well, wouldn't be able to be demolished by those two.
I got 5 off both of them in a 25-up game.
Yeah, when they were at the peak of their powers, mate, it was pretty difficult to get 1. He's on a good line here. If he's going to, looks like he's arcing back at the right time. Maybe
just hold out around Bronwyn. No, he's
fraction short.
Just been a little tentative. And really, would have loved to have been in between the jack and Bronwyn's bowl.
Yep, and that's why now, if you're Bronwyn, I'd be attacking. If that bowl's going past the jack, you're attacking.
I need 3. I've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th there, I think. Be close to it.
Well, the cannon looks like it's missing the jack. I mean, obviously we're not right on the green and right lining it up, but the cannon looks like it's missing the jack. And if it is,
pick your weight, go at it.
Correct.
You get you get the outside of your own bowl. I reckon it'll jam the other, and that toucher will just spit out of the head.
Yep.
You take one of your own, so what? You're probably still going to be 1 or 2.
No, it doesn't matter. You've got to try to play the game. You've got to try to play the shot that's going to hold you match.
Takes the deep breath again. A little bit of a settle. Looks like, well, she always lines up like this.
Yeah, a bit like me. Everybody thinks I'm driving too. Well, she's having a go at it. She's just missed it wide. She had the right idea. She's obviously had a crack at this.
I said, that's where you know this green more than me. I'm thinking, that's not too bad, but just held its line and held its line.
That's just judging.
A little bit of weight.
Yeah, I've been watching, obviously I've watched most of the bowls that have come down. I made a point that Bronwyn's bowls were taking a narrow line earlier, the edge factors. I don't know why he didn't play this bowl. I mean, there's no danger there.
Oh, that's fear.
You just got to come out there on the forehand, try to beat the back bowl. You halve the back bowl, you're going close to counting. Anyway,
even if you played the backhand, you've got no danger pushing anything in there.
Well, you wouldn't think so, no. Anyway, he's made the decision. He's taken the one. He's got control of the mat now, so we'll see what he does with it. I think this will be a stretched out length.
I do remember one of my opponents electing not to play their last bowl because they held one shot, and it actually gave me confidence because I thought he's scared.
It's a bit like the football team that decides to take the two with 10 minutes to go, just so they can have the lead. You start to think they've had 3 or 4 repeat sets on your line and they can't score, they get a penalty, we'll take the two. And the opposition's thinking, how good's this? It's a similar situation, I think. Sometimes you can gain some confidence from your opponent's tentativeness.
What made me think, okay, let's lock this in with my next bowl. If I drop that right near the jack, he's going to be under that bit more pressure.
And you know what? It's obvious that he's feeling it because of the decision that he made on the last end, not to play it or whatever,
But then again, if you're a bit scared, you're going to give it away, and you don't play it, you don't give it away.
That's true too.
So it's all how you then, if you then go, okay, well, I've got the one now, if I can just get another one. Bronwyn, she's played a very good bowl with her opener.
Very good shot, Bronwyn Brown.
Needs 3. That could be one of them.
Yep.
And we are there's one other game on this green.
Yeah, I don't think this game will be finished on this end or even the next one. I think we'll be going for another 3 ends yet, the way it's gone.
And it's 14-11 on the next rink.
It's a good reply. As he hung around, he turtles his shot. Oh, it's just fell with the bias. Fell against the bias he was shot. I mean, it's not the most uncommon thing to see.
And Bronwyn's got room to draw here too. Plays the same bowl as the first one. She's holding 2. With 2 bowls to get the winner.
Now this one's heavy and wide. He's covering the back of the rink. I think it's a little bit conservative right there. She's holding 1. Just Jay's got to draw the shot, so don't give him anything to work with. Don't change the head. Chuck one around the back. If you get into trouble, you've got to get out a jail card. Yeah, now he's failed again, so I don't think this one will be too much different either. Just be trying to count but get past. Don't want to be fattening their head up and giving Jay an opportunity to play a shot or give him more confidence.
A little hesitation.
Don't change your hand. Yeah, she's going to change her hand, Andrew. Which means she's going to be drawing a shot to beat Jay. So, problem with this is if you stick something jack high and give Jay a little chair,
Look, I understand why she has, though, that bowl's close enough to jack high. And conventional wisdom is you've only got to sit at the stay. But you get the outside of it like that.
There we go. That's why I didn't like it.
The bowl just shy of Jack White.
Yeah, so that's
So he
why-
has got a chance for the next one. Jay really needs to add another.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, you held one. You don't need to worry. Just that's going to take you to 15. You don't need to worry about getting to 16. You worry about getting to 16 after Jay's played all his bowls.
While it's nice to think I need 3 to win on this end, you don't try and manufacture that straight off. The only time you try and think, well, is there a chance for me to get 3 here is with your last bowl.
Which is right now.
And through the end you play as what is the safest for me, what do I need to do, what's my opponent going to do. Now is, if you're one down, you play pretty much exactly the same bowl as you've just played.
Yep.
You get 2 rolls out of that and stay your 3.
Yep. That's that'll be the mindset going down to the mat, I'd say. She'd be visualising sitting that bowl out for 3 and winning the game. That would be what's running through her mind, no doubt. Problem is that, well, there's no problem because Jay didn't really change it up. But yeah, if Jay had have been able to get another one in there due to the fact that Bronwyn opened it up a little bit, then she wouldn't have been trying to play a shot to win the game. She'd have been trying to play a shot to prevent Jay from scoring 2 and squaring it up. Carmen's just noticed that Carmen Plaza's just noticed that Bronwyn's approaching the head with the 3rd bowl every end. I pointed that out on the 2nd end, Carmen. She's played that well, but she's kicked the jack. Did the jack go far enough? I don't think.
She still won.
She's still the shot. That's a good bowl.
Oh, Jay's having a good look at it.
From the window, it looks like Bronwyn. But yeah, getting back to what Carmen was saying, she does seem to be a bit nervous, taking the deep breath, trying to compose herself. But like, you can expect people to be nervous. They're rookies, not very experienced, playing on the TV for the first time probably. Playing on greens that they're not used to, playing in crowds that they're not used to. So, yeah, you can understand her for being a little bit nervous, but at the same time, she seems to be making a very concerted effort to compose herself as well.
They call for a measure, I think.
No, you're not going to get the measure in there, Johnny. You're
That's
going
probably what they called.
to need the calipers, mate.
Oh, well, he made a mistake. I'll forgive him for that one, but doesn't need the wedges now. Both bowls lying on their belly.
Looks a little bit different now they've taken the rest of the bowls out. I'm still favouring Bronwyn, but it does look a little closer than what I thought. He's give him a rap from going bottom up, and now he's going top down.
I'll forgive him. But he has got... He's measuring from bowl to jack, which is the correct thing to do. And the reason for that is the bowl is a lot heavier than the jack.
It's harder to move.
So you scrape your caliper down the bowl to start with and then move towards the jack.
Oh, that's closer than we thought. Oh, geez, that was close.
Survives. Needs 2. I'd almost put 185 in for the shot then. Little typey tapo.
Yeah, so she needs 2 to get out. Get out and get off the green with the W. Billy Baxter, yeah, I did make that comment too. Andrew actually thought she was going to have a run a couple of bowls ago, and I said, no, she's just a bit like me. Everybody thinks I'm going to drive too. I'm just drawing a shot.
I'll tell you who else I think's going to drive every time he walks onto the green is Gary Kelly.
Yeah, and there's another one that's...
Gary gets the arm up and...
Yeah, appears...
He's got a little bit of a bend in the arm to start with.
And he peers over the top of the bowl. I tell you who's another one that's very upright too. And is Wayne Turley. He's very, very upright.
Yep. Oh, someone's got nervous. We've got a slight little comfort stop.
Hopefully it's for the correct number and we're not waiting too long.
I'll replay one of the last one in the replay queue.
Oh, that was a very good shot. And as you can see, Jay played a good bowl. Bronwyn's opening bowl was good too. Jay played a smoker, and
I don't even know if that was from last end.
that wasn't the one that I was thinking about. Anyway,
So our system works by you queue up one replay at a time. We don't have multiples available. System's not that fancy, but we can queue up the one replay.
so
Whatever one's in the memory goes through.
yeah. So here we have Bronwyn with the control of the mat and the jack again. 2 required to win the game.
How important is this first bowl?
Well, it's very important from both people, actually. Important for Bronwyn because she wants to sort of cement the end, or begin to cement the end and get closer to the victory. And very important for Jay because he needs as many as he can get, as early as he can get.
Well,
In the centre of the rink again.
I don't think it's good enough to be a match winner. If that one's the second shot to win the match, I think Jay would be very disappointed in how he finished.
Yeah, I think this one's going to cut it out in one foul swoop.
And that one, it's reasonable.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that as an opener from the lead. Not much shorter than that. But yeah, you'd be happy with that.
I don't think I'd be walking up and looking at the head every third bowl that either.
I wouldn't be either.
Simply because I know I'm going to be playing 3 games, and that's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
I'll be just managing my fatigue levels.
Yeah. So
Good reply. Just needs to pull up or just going to roll out.
and she's played well too. There's been times where she's visited the head and when she hasn't needed to. She just needs to do what she did with the last bowl. It's just sort of maybe overemphasised it a bit, going to visit the head with the third bowl.
And again, if
Or after a third bowl, I should say.
you're a rookie, you're probably not as used to picking what the head is like from the other end.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
too.
she's probably just going, you know what, I'm going to go and have a look and make sure what's in my mind is what's actually up there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Jay's holding 2 now.
Both equally distant from the centre line too, about the same distance short, same distance wide. So both hands more or less exactly the same in regards to the affected draw lines.
And this one's action bowl. Bowl 3 is critical when you're down.
So her own bowl really does herself a disservice now. That one on the centre line, it forces her. She can't play in get a little underneath result. She has to be around a front bowl and underneath one of the counters.
Still 2 down. I think Jay's probably got to play his forehand with this one.
Yeah, so she's made it a little bit tougher for herself too on that side of the green she just played. There's no clear road to the jack now. Jay sort of blocks this hand off or seals the deal on this hand. And take that option away from her too. He hasn't, but I think he falls over, he counts. In fact, I think it counts anyway.
Well, here's the thing too. She fails with this. She lines up to drop her first big multiple, and we could see a new leader.
You're right too. We could have one required to win the game. having gone from Bronwyn being on the springboard for a couple of ends, and Jay could go springboard and one big hop into the pool. 2 ends.
I think we've got a couple of games over now. The Green starting the second round.
How good's that?
Well, there is no reason that they need to wait for everybody to go out at the same time.
It's an important bowl, this, in the context of the game. Probably the most pressure that she's been under.
Well, the good news for her is she can't lose it on this end.
No, that's right. But yeah, deep breath again, composed herself. Another little exhale. Very focused on her breathing, Bronwyn. Anyway, playing probably the only side of the green that's available to her, and I think there's a bit of nerves in that one, Andrew.
There's some speed here.
There's a bit of nerves in that one. He's very disappointed with that. She drops her head, knows that she's left the door ajar for Jay to make a 4 here.
Well, she either needed 3 metres less weight or a metre less grass.
I think she needed 3 metres less weight.
That would have been the sensible approach.
Just let her off the hook a little there.
Yeah, but I think we might be all square.
Yeah, I think you're right. 15 all. I think you're right.
Well, if she had have had that weight and been through the head, there was a chance to sit and stay on the bowl on the way in or even punch her own up.
Yeah, you're going to play that way. You probably played on the other end, though.
But,
more to run into, including your own bowl.
But it's not a shot I would recommend on that head at that stage. Although, if you're nervous, you may as well give it a whack.
Yeah, I don't think this will... what's she doing here?
Measuring front ones.
They look closer than the back one.
2.
No, the angles are deceiving, but they can't be that deceiving, can they? Yeah, they can be. 2.
Well, we're not all square, but we're both on the springboard. Is possible for this to be the last end?
Yeah, we did congratulate Lee Schreiner, and it's spelt with a C in there too, Billy. Anyway, no, we did congratulate Lee Schreiner yesterday. I made a point of having the big trophy right next to me, so yeah, we shouted out to him yesterday.
Still there, actually.
He's still there, that's good. So, Lee Schreiner, Bowler of the Year, Newcastle Bowler of the Year for the 2nd year in a row.
We probably shouldn't have said that. He might come and just erase it out and engrave his own name there.
Well, you reckon just rip all the plaques off it and
Put a new one on.
no, etch his name across the wood, right across the whole back of it. What do you reckon?
No, that would be an option.
Yeah. Had a bit of a. We've dominated that trophy the last few years. The terrace, it's been good.
Somebody here knows what the little ring goes on the inside then.
Yeah, we've got a few people like that.
I've got to say, I'm loving the T-shirt that's just walked past. We've got one there with Bowls Widow across the front.
My mum could have done with one of them when I was growing up. She was always complaining about being a Bowls widow, my mother. And now she's a Bowls, now she's a Bowls widowed mother and a Bowls widowed grandmother.
Jay's got a good opener on this length. Bronwyn's just fallen short. And I tell you what, there was some cheer urging on from the spectators just up from us.
Yeah, we've got a few.
The Harrington fans sitting up in the fishbowl here.
Yeah, a handful of spectators over there cheering on Bronwyn.
And there was a, come on, going.
Jay
needs this one to be up as well. And
it's up, it just needs to hang around.
Oh, it's good enough.
Yeah, that's the shot.
That's 2.
It's tightening up here. It's going to be interesting to see how each player reacts to the occasion. It's going to be fraught with a little bit of nerves as the bowls get delivered and we get closer to a result.
And sometimes that little bit of nerves just frays the shot selection too.
It does. We saw that yesterday. Saw it yesterday a few times.
hasn't frayed Bronwyn's shot selection. She's played a wonderful draw shot.
She's been very good. She's been very good.
Well, Jay knows he has to be holding shot after his fourth bowl.
Yes.
Because if he's not, he's opened the door. This one looks...
No, he's coming back nicely here, Andrew. I reckon he's got to touch it just about. Oh, what a good bowl, though. One shot. One shot. Well done, Jay. Putting the pressure back on Bronwyn. Anything you can do, I can do better.
You tempted to try and reach that bowl and turn it out?
Yes, and especially with your short bowl coming up on the nearer the line there. If you happen to get tight, you can flum that up for a shot.
Even ditch weight?
Yeah, I'd be playing, sort of whatever weight you're confident with, but it's not. It's heavier rather than shorter. Yeah, you can get your own bowl up into the count, slip around, sit the bowl out. If you hang wide, you get the jack.
I don't think this is wide enough.
She hasn't played the weight, Andrew.
Yeah, well, actually that width was all right with another 2 metres of weight.
Yeah, I think she needed at least 2 metres, to be honest, I think. Just to give herself a couple of chances. Jay now, bit of an open draw on the forehand for a 2.
Really needs to get another one in there too.
He's pretty close, mate. The last one on this line didn't go away too far, and this one hasn't either. It's 2.
Well, that's brilliant.
So, here we are. What do you do here? What do you do here, Andrew? I think she's asking the same question.
Well,
if it was me, I'm taking my medicine and trying to draw a shot. You don't want to play weight and have anything go pear-shaped, you know?
You play weight and you get inside your own bowl and hit Jay's other one.
Yeah, 3 down.
Punches it onto the shot bowl and the jack goes out the side, you're 3 down, and that's it.
Yep.
So definitely, I'm going to make sure I'm confidently drawing because there's a couple there to stop on, but I'm not going any big weight at all.
No. No, she's just got to draw the shot here. Be confident with the draw shot that she's chosen to play. Get down there and...
I'd rather finish 30 centimetres behind than 20 centimetres short, but no more than that.
Oh, she's in the hunting area, Andrew. She's homing in on this. She's homing in on it. She's drawn the shot, Andrew. What a great bowl. What a great bowl.
That one goes for the highlight reel. Brett Dries is D-R-I-E-S. I'd think with the surname of English you'd know how to spell. Or maybe I shouldn't pick on people, but if you have a crack, you open yourself up to it.
Oh, my God.
Just a reminder, we do have a policy that if you say anything on there that shouldn't be there, our comms team may take the steps of removing your comment and removing you. A little bit of light-hearted banter is okay, but if it's offensive, then you may find yourself banned from our page.
In regards to Bronwyn approaching the end, or the mat, or the head, I should say, after a third bowl, she has been pretty consistent with that, but it was pointed out at the start of the play today that what the movement of players was and what they were and weren't allowed to do. She's only operating inside the rules, of course. Mind you, I do think a lot of the times that she's visited has been frivolous.
Yeah, look, an experienced player wouldn't be approaching as often. And a fellow of peak sporting fitness like myself wouldn't be doing it at all because I want to manage my fatigue. And neither of those are the winners. Good thing for Bronwyn, she's behind. So I usually think it's easier to correct back than forward. A drop a metre of weight I find easier than adding.
It's the age-old adage. Always easier to take off than put on.
Wants this to get back to the jack.
She has to. That's a good bowl. Now she's holding game at the moment. And they're not that bad either. This needs to be a good bowl from Jay. He's probably got, 18 inches, a foot to 18 inches to get a second shot. Save the game.
Oh, he's got to get shot.
Oh, he's got to get shot. Yeah, that's right.
Second is a good prize, though, because it allows you to play something with your last. If you're 2 down playing your last bowl,
It's not what he wanted.
you've got no options.
It's not what he wanted.
No, the short bowls, they're killing him at the moment. A lot easier to say than do, though. You make sure you reach. And that first bowl being short does put you under pressure straight away. Now, Bronwyn's one was a little bit past, but she's trailed that jack back and made it into second shot and made it a lot better. She's swapped over hands because of those two on the way in. Wants to get around it and will. Little slide's okay. Well, just slipped it. That's a bit of a nuisance there too, I think. Got no option now but to draw.
Got a nice line. Here he comes back. He's coming back at the right time, Andrew. He's pretty close, mate.
Oh, he's just going to slip it though.
Oh, he has to.
And runs through.
Oh, he's still 3.
Yep.
Not that it matters. One's enough, but yeah.
And Bronwyn's going to have a look again. And here, it's probably don't change your routine.
See, that second bowl of Jay's sort of made it harder for him after Bronwyn put that bowl there, didn't it?
Yeah, you got to. If you're Bronwyn, you're going to backhand draw and try and just cover this up again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw. I'm just trying to draw as close as I can. I mean, a front touch is probably the worst bowl she could play. But
Actually, probably wouldn't be too bad if she dropped this one 2 feet short in the draw line.
yeah, you don't really want to get up onto the jack because it provides an opportunity for Jay to just pop the jack back and score on the tee on the respot. But I think you need to try to get him to be a little bit neater on his draw shot.
Really wants this to, well,
So that little foot short,
that one is a real nuisance bowl.
it is a nuisance bowl, but that foot short that you were speaking about was probably the ideal result. Just, cover the jack up, make it look a lot harder, not provide him any opportunity.
Well, I think that's done its job, though. You see, he's walked out and had a look from the side. It's put that doubt in his mind.
It's one of those things now is that it's a tough shot to draw. The draw line's been taken away. I'd nearly be inclined to go up there and try to drag the jack back right through the hole. You're either going to win or lose with this bowl, so we're either going to lose or stay in the game with this bowl.
Can he get inside and get
Has he
back
got
down
enough
to
weight
the
to
shot
hold?
bowl?
Has he got enough weight? No, he doesn't have enough weight to hold. He's going to go out.
Well, that's the game. Bronwyn Brown from Harrington. She takes a 17-14 win over Jay Flood of Huskisson. We will be back in just a few minutes now with round 2. We look forward to your company then, but until then, it's arrivederci for now.